Good morning, youngsters. Mr. Bruce here with the final story from our Sneetches book. And this is the title of the book, The Sneetches. It's the Sneetches stories. It's about two creatures who look identical. You couldn't tell them apart except one has a star on his stomach and the other doesn't. But before we hear about the Sneetches, eyes watching, ears listening, voices quiet, body calm. The Sneetches. Now, the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really quite small. You might think such a thing, it wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, "We are the best kind of Sneetches on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll be having nothing to do with the plain belly sort." And whenever they met them, when they were out walking, they'd walk right past them without even talking. Well, the star-belly children, when they went out to play, could a plain belly get in that game? Nope, not at all. You could only play if your belly had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly Sneetches had Frankfurter roast, or picnics or parties or marshmallow roasts, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches, and they kept them away, never let them come near. And that's how they treated them, year after year after year. Then, one day it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on their beaches, just sitting there wishing that their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need. All my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then, quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. He said, "You want stars, like star-belly Sneetches? My friend, you can have them for $3 eaches. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. The big machine roared, it clunked, it bonked, it jerked, it burked, it bopped them about. But the thing, it really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars from the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. Now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Oh, good grief," groaned the ones who had stars in the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "of which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. He said, "Things are not quite so bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That's perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and it will only cost you $10 eaches." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine works very precisely. It removes all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Boop, 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 boop." Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about. They opened their beaks and they let out a shout. We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are the Sneetches without. Then, of course, those with stars, they got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now is frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Though the machines they raced round about and again, changing the stars every minute or two, they kept money. They kept paying money and they kept running through. Not until Plain nor the star bellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Oh my goodness. Some have them, some don't. And then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up Jack, he packed it up and went, and he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn. No, no, no. You can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm happy to say. That Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best kind on the beaches. That day, all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon theirs. The end. Okay, so that finishes our book, The Sneetches and Other Stories. Even if they had stars or not stars, didn't make any difference. They were all the same Sneetches. If you could have a tattoo, you could take it on or off. On your belly, what would it be? Would it be a unicorn? Would it be a marshmallow? Would it be a semi-truck? Would it be Sonic? Think about that. Until tomorrow, be good to your folks and wash your hands. Bye-bye.